Hello, friends. My name is Benji Kreckman. I am a fantasy author and a fantasy graphic novelist. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Pokemon cards and the stories behind them. Now, there's only one rule that I have to obey as I do this. I'm going to be using context clues inside the illustrations. I'm going to be using my storytelling know-how. But the rule is I have to dig deep. If it's too obvious, it doesn't work. Now, so we're kind of betraying Occam's razor a little bit, that the simplest working answer is the best one, but life rarely shapes up the way that you suspect that it would. Case in point, imagine how you felt when you found out how babies were made. The simple... with this... What? What? Anyways. Card number one, let's just get straight into it, is this Numel. Now, Numel here seems at peace at first glance. I mean, he looks like he's just hanging out rolling hills. There's some water by him. We can see that. But everything is not as it seems. There's more to the story. Let's see just exactly what that is. First, you'll notice that at the top, the Numel has kind of the blowhole of the animal, of the Pokemon. That, to me, seems kind of engorged, like kind of bigger than it should. So maybe this Numel is actually sick. That would explain the dark ring around its eyes. Very common when we get sick, right, to get those dark rings. So very, very possible that this Numel is actually, despite its smile, in a state of critical conditions and is a little delirious about it. You'll also notice, like on the Camerupt card, Camerupt seems to live in like rocky, volcanic conditions. It's possible that this climate is what's doing this to Numel. Now, I'll give you this, he's camouflaged. Whatever those things are behind him, he's camouflaged. Although, I also say, I have not seen those things in any of the anime for Pokemon that I've watched, or any of the other cards that I've seen. I haven't seen all of the cards, so I will say that. It's possible that this exists. It could be that we're actually getting an insight into Numel's delirium. And so if I was going to name this card and we were going to use it like a magic spell instead of a Pokemon card, I would call this Numel's Delirium. Because clearly what we're seeing isn't reflective of reality. Let's take a look here. His moves are Tackle and Stomp. Interesting that he can't use any of the Fire-type moves that a Numel typically could. Perhaps this again has to do with his lack of health. It says here that he's the numb Pokemon. Interesting. What does that mean? Does that play into the condition here? Can he not sense when things are off, or has he just become numb due to the constant pain that he lives in? His, evolution is the Eruption Pokemon. So how do we get from one place to another? I'm not quite sure, but that's Numel's Delirium. Next card. Okay, I actually love this card. Card number 2 is this Charmander. It's a full card, full illustration card, and you can see here at the face of it, Charmander is pressing against the glass of the window. He's in distress over these Pidgey. And I think that much is evident, but then the question is why? And why does his tail burn so brightly because of them? Are there any hints we get from the card? Well, it says here, from the time it's born, a flame burns at the tip of its tail. Its life would end if the flame were to go out. Now, his flame is burning so brightly here that despite the anger on his face, this might just be what this Charmander lives to do. Kind of like my cats at the bay window when they see the birds out. They are so enthralled by them. They want to chase after them and hunt them. Maybe Charmander's the same kind of beast where he loves the hunt of it. They don't seem to notice him nearly as much. It could be something deeper. If we're, going to betray Occam's razor, maybe these Pidgeys killed his parents. And he was supposed to be a Cubone because of it, but he was adopted, so he still was a Charmander. There's not a lot of that in the card, but maybe. If I was going to name this differently, if I was going to name this a scene rather than just the Pokemon card, I would call it Charmander's Passion. I was going to say Charmander's Angst, but I think this could be a good scenario for him. This could be like the highlight of his day, despite how he appears, So I'm going to say it's Charmander's Passion. Charmander's Pastime. Take your pick. Card number 3. Card number 3 is this Darmanitan, and this is our final fire type card. You can see here that Darmanitan has kind of a smile on his face, although they always seem to. His eyebrows are pointed up, again, kind of always seem to, so he's got this like happy, angry face on him. In addition to that, his hand is on fire. It does say damage counter punch. That's one of the moves here. And if this Pokemon has any damage counters on it, this attack does 60 more damage. And so there's this indication that Darmanitan is definitely in a fight and has taken some hits. And that makes sense to me when I look at this card, because I actually think our Darmanitan is in a free fall. Perhaps this free fall is the free fall of its life, in fact, because we appear to be in a cliffside. Now, I know it looks like he's on the floor, but if you take a look and you think about which way trees grow, it's up and out of the ground, right? In most cases, that tends to be what happens. These trees are actually going this way throughout the picture, the way I'm looking at it. Probably this way for you guys if it's on screen. We'll have to see. You have to tell me. And he is falling towards them, actually past them, because they're in the background. He's in the foreground. Who knows how deep this cliff goes? This Darmanitan, actually, the picture we're seeing could be him in his final moments. And so I would name this card, if I was naming it a scene instead of a Pokemon card, Darmanitan's Demise. And so if you have this card, be really kind to that Darmanitan, because that big pupil-y look he's got on his face, that's his life flashing before his eyes. It's really kind of alarming. All right, guys, thanks so much for doing this with me. Thanks so much for watching these videos. It's a blast to get to do these with you. I enjoy the time we get to spend together. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment what your favorite part of the video was, and I will see you in the next one.